What we wanted to do was try to find a little better way of bringing some structure to how we took care of the various areas where there's graffiti.
Making sure that we have young people lined up to be responsive and go out there and get the job done.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of City Law, City Justice. I'm Officer Dave Northway, the Public Information Officer for the Tallahassee Police Department. In today's program, we will be discussing the recent partnership between the Tallahassee Police Department and Workforce Plus program. TPD continues to reach out to businesses in the community to create unique opportunities for the residents in our city. Joining me now are Greg Frost of TPD and Kimberly Moore of Workforce Plus, both of whom were instrumental in the creation of this new and exciting partnership. Thank you for being here.
You're
we
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thanks for the invitation.
I know you both have extremely busy days, and taking some time out to come in and talk is very helpful, so thanks. So, Kimberly, let's start out with you. Let's talk about Workforce Plus.
Yes.
It's one of those things that I'm not sure everybody knows about. So what is Workforce Plus and what is their philosophy?
Workforce Plus, we're one of 24 regional workforce boards across the state, and we have this unique opportunity of serving both employers and job seekers. So it encompasses not only serving young people, but certainly up the spectrum to older people as well.
Okay, and Greg, you work at Tallahassee PD, but you are not a sworn police officer, is that correct?
That's correct.
So what is your responsibility for TPD?
Well, a couple years ago, we created the Administrative Services Bureau, the idea being that we would take a lot of the business functions of the police department and put it under one manager, and I got tapped to be that manager.
Okay.
The idea is if you don't need a gun and a badge, my group takes care of it.
Okay, all right. So, Kim, the things that Workforce Plus, they service quite a large group. What kind of numbers are we talking here?
On average, we serve around 80,000 individuals, and that's throughout the Tri-County area of Gadsden, Leon, and McCullough County. So, yeah, often very, very busy, nonstop.
And how many staff members do you think you have?
There's approximately 70 staff spread out, again, throughout the Tri-County area.
Okay, and their responsibilities are to provide training for young adults who may be moving up in the world, or?
It's a full combination. We really meet you where you are in your situation. There are some individuals who are seeking training or retooling, and there are others that are looking to get right back into the workforce. So we assist them and we match motivation and connecting them with that opportunity.
Okay, and you provide training and also connections with employers, possible employers, or?
Absolutely. We act as an extension of our local employer base here. We serve over 1,800 employers, making sure that they're connected with that top quality candidate and meeting their needs.
Okay, all right. So let's start to talk about how Workforce Plus and TPD got together. Greg, maybe you can kind of shed some light on how this all began.
Sure. Maybe the first spot would be a little context. TPD's had a graffiti paint-out program for a number of years. It's been coordinated by the Community Relations Unit, and it's taken several different paths on how we would take care of the graffiti. We would have some youth involved. We would actually have police officers go out on some of their days off and paint. We would get some residents involved. So what we wanted to do was try to find a little better way of bringing some structure to how we took care of the various areas where there's graffiti. I was talking with Assistant City Manager Tom Coe about the issue several months ago, and his thought was, well, why don't we see if the city can partner with Workforce Plus? You all potentially would have some people who could help us with the project. He gave me Kimberly Moore's phone number, so I gave her a call and pitched the idea with the underlying concept being that we would use their workforce youth, like Martika, to help with the painting out, but then we would fund it through our Law Enforcement Trust Fund. And that trust fund is actually funded by money that we've seized from bad guys. So really this whole program is using criminal assets to afford us the opportunity to work with Workforce Plus to rid the community of graffiti.
Okay. So when Greg called and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking, what was your initial reaction? I mean, is this something that is going to be a long-term partnership, or?
Absolutely committed to being a long-term partnership. Workforce Plus has a commitment to working with youth to make sure that they transition into our local workforce without any issues. And this certainly serves as an enhancement to that, I guess, focus. Individuals like Martika have an opportunity to earn money while at the same time giving back to their community and understanding the importance of strong leadership and the role that they play in making the community better.
Excellent. And how many I guess, staff members do you think you have that are out there painting out graffiti at any given time? Do we have a certain number, or is it
Absolutely.
fluctuating?
We created a pool of young people who are interested in providing this service, and right now there are 2, and Martika, of course, being one of the key individuals, and Joseph is the other.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, Greg, you were talking about the bad guy asset forfeiture. Can you maybe explain that a little bit to our viewers, what that means when we have asset forfeiture? That's a big word that we use in the police world, but it may,
What does that mean?
what does that mean exactly?
Basically what happens is typically it will involve a narcotics offense. Officers arrest a drug dealer. And for example, he has or she has $2,000 of cash in their pocket. Well, that is then legally seized, and that then becomes an asset of the Tallahassee Police Department. That money is legally moved through the courts. We obtain ownership of it, and then that goes into the law enforcement trust fund, where we have certain rules on how we have to spend it. It's not just
parties.
a slush account.
Right. We're not having parties at TPD and funding.
Correct. We have certain eligibility criteria, and community improvement, community revitalization, crime prevention, those are all areas that are eligible where we can spend the funds.
Okay, well that sounds great. I love that. So then we take that money and pay it to our staff members through Workforce Plus, and you oversee all of that venture.
Absolutely, oversee the process.
That's excellent. That's a great idea. I can't see anything better.
It's a win-win.
So do you then, I know that you're the Chief Executive Officer, so you must have someone that is handling the day-to-day business with this. Is there a hierarchy of how this works for the Workforce Plus?
Absolutely, there's a hierarchy. There's a project director, as well as a great staff person, Adam Swingle, who you'll probably hear a number of times. I believe Martika mentioned as well. But yes, making sure that we have young people lined up to be responsive and go out there and get the job done. And that is at the quality that you all want and expect.
And so we at TPD then, we're the ones that receive those notifications that there is graffiti, and then we contact Workforce Plus and go through there. And then that trickles down to the staffers. That's excellent, excellent. So Greg, if there's anything that someone doesn't know about what you do on a day-to-day basis that you think they should know, let's hear it. What do you think?
That's a very good question, Dave. My day depends upon so many different factors. I not only have the responsibilities for my bureau, but I also work a lot of special projects for the chief and the deputy chief. So it really is just day to day what gets thrown at me.
Myriad of things that happen up in the office.
I'm a master of nothing and a little bit of everything.
Well, we're coming to the end of our time together, but I just wanted to let Kimberly, if there's anything that we need to tell the community that maybe they don't know about Workforce Plus, what would that be, do you think?
Well, just making sure that they understand that the service is available to the entire community. So regardless of where you are, what point in your life, it's a resource that you should take advantage of. Okay, and if they were needing to contact Workforce Plus, is there a phone number, a website, where could they go? Absolutely, the number is 1-866-WFP-JOB1, or if they're looking to go on our website, it's www.wfplus.org. Okay, well that's excellent. Well, our segment is over. We are going to have some more representatives in. So I would really like to say thank you for coming on and taking some time out of your busy day. And will you come back maybe next time and Absolutely,
give us some more information?
We'll give you an update.
All right, that would be great. Well, we appreciate it. And we'll be right back on City Law, City Justice.
A woman in this country is battered every 15 seconds.
Women living with disabilities have a 40% greater risk of experiencing domestic violence.
Nearly 8 million days of work per year are lost as a result of domestic violence, the equivalent of 32,000 full-time jobs.
The leading cause of injury to women ages 15 to 44 is domestic violence.
Each year, about 324,000 pregnant women in this country are battered by their intimate partners.
Most domestic violence offenses are not reported to law enforcement, and sometimes it's just too late.
Every day, 3 women are murdered at the hands of a current or former partner. Help is here. Call the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline or visit fcadv.org for more information or to find your local certified domestic violence center.
Hi, and welcome back to City Law, City Justice. Joining me now are Sergeant Art Shepard and Dorcas Washington from Workforce Plus. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So, Sergeant Shepard, you are, we started out with kind of the overview of what we're doing, but you are the supervisor of our Community Relations Unit. So what does the Community Relations Unit actually do at TPD?
The Community Relations Unit is formed for a purpose of making sure that we have direct contact with our citizens in the community. And we have 6 officers that work in this unit, and the city is divided up into 3 different districts. We have two officers assigned to each district for liaison purposes.
Okay, and they go out into the community, and they're not actually patrolling, though. They're not in a police car driving around on a day-to-day basis. They're actually going out in the community for specific reasons, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Yes. We make contact with our neighborhood associations, our homeowners associations, and we have programs such as our neighborhood watches, which is one of our most long-running programs that we have at TPD. Mm-hmm. And in that particular program, what we do is we try to get the citizens involved so they can have a partnership in how the neighborhood is serviced as far as police and crime is concerned.
Okay. And Dorcas, you are the Director of Operations at Workforce Plus, right?
Yes.
And so your, I guess, day-to-day activities would include what? What is your responsibilities at Workforce Plus?
Well, daily we're responsible for making sure that the services that are provided with care and professionalism. So when people come into the office looking for employment, looking for services, or anything related to getting back to work or starting work, changing careers, we're able to connect them with services, resources, expertise that allows them to move from one place to the other. So daily we have people that come in, maybe have lost their jobs, needing to connect to unemployment, maybe needing to connect to a new job opportunity. Maybe they're upset about the day and want to come in and look for something new. And we talk to them about, is this the right time for you maybe to change careers? Are you looking for a new opportunity? So those are the kinds of things we do daily. We offer workshops, we offer counseling, we offer information for people who are just looking for their place in the current workforce.
So what would some of those workshops be? Are we talking about how to better our careers, or better, what would those things be? Better communication, things like that?
We have a variety of workshops. Primarily we offer workshops related to work readiness. So interviewing. Many people have not interviewed in a long time. So talking about current interview skills, resume writing, getting the resume updated in a format now that is going to have them stand out. We also offer workshops for our young people in our First Connect program, budgeting, networking, the different things that a person would need to do to be able to go out and present themselves to an employer so that they can get that opportunity and move forward in their lives.
Sounds like a busy day.
It is a busy day every day, it is.
So Sergeant Shepard, you said you have 6 officers that are assigned to you.
Correct.
And they go out into the community. What are some of the services that they provide? We do a lot of stuff with our community relations department. I just want to let everybody know what we do.
It's one of our, we have several programs that we run, but one of our most recent program that we're heading off is called the RAD for Women program, which is basically a self-defense awareness that teaches women how to react and give them some tools that they can use in case of emergency. And we also have RAD for Kids. That's another program for our kids. We teach them the same thing, how to react when they come in contact with strangers, what to do, ways to get themselves out of situations.
Okay, and then I know we do like the TPDU breakfast, we do some other community outreach programs, and so the idea, I'm guessing, is to connect with our community outside of a patrol level where we're just going and answering calls for service.
Yes, we go out into the community and we usually try to find a place, whether it's a neighborhood service center, or we go out to a local homeowners association meeting grounds, but we meet into residents sometimes. So wherever the citizens want to meet at, we're willing to go out there and hold these meetings. And we do safety presentations. We also do what we call commercial for our business owners. We do a commercial survey. For our residentials, we do residential surveys.
Okay, and the program that we're discussing on today's show is the Graffiti Paint Out program. So that is a new program that's been added under your belt, I guess, of things that we do. Can you explain kind of how that works to the community? We are the ones that are housing the complaints of graffiti, right?
Correct.
And if it's on private property, what is the, how does that work? If it's just an abandoned building, someone paints their name on an abandoned building, how do we, I guess, decide which ones we can work on, which ones we can't work on?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave. Private property, we have to have permission from the owner to go on that property to paint it out. So if you're a citizen and you do see graffiti, what we recommend that you do, you call us to let us know where you're at. We got a lot of citizens that want to go out and just help, and we like that. But just call us and let us know that you're going to be out painting. And if it is private property, you need to have permission from the property owner before you decide to paint over that graffiti.
Okay. And Dorcas, again, it's a new program, right? So I'm guessing it came into your realm of responsibility on a day-to-day basis. So how are you handling it at Workforce Plus, this new program?
It is a new program, and we're really excited. We have a young man, Adam Swingle, who does a really, really good job. He's our hands-on person who works with our participants. And Adam receives the information from Tallahassee Police Department where the site is, and then he connects the student with the time and the date, and then he meets them out there with the paint. And he actually does some quality control as well. He goes out to kind of see it before to survey the situation. Then he comes back in and decides what needs to happen, and then he'll go back out and make sure that it was done well, because we pride ourselves in making sure that the participants, that we're teaching them good skills, and if you're going to do a job, that you do it really well. So we go back and make sure that, and he takes pictures and presents those as a part of his regular reporting.
Excellent. And before this program, Sergeant Shepard, what did we do with graffiti? I mean, did we ignore it? We didn't ignore it, I'm guessing.
No, we always had a graffiti abatement program, and we have two ways of receiving information about graffiti in the city. One of them is that you call our graffiti hotline, which is 891-4500. The other one is you go to our website and you can put in information where the graffiti is located, and I receive that information. And usually what we normally do is that we work with some of our youth in the community. We come out with some of the officers in the department, and we go out and we have graffiti paint out days. So that's one of the ways that we handled this in the past.
And do the officers on duty, are they coming out and working the graffiti paint out, or is it different officers off duty? How does that work?
Well, we have what we decided to do is provide some of our patrol officers with the spray paint, cans of spray paint, so that when they run into little small areas that they can hit while they're on duty. But usually for a graffiti paint out, officers are off duty in plain clothes, so that we can go out and because it's going to be, you may get a little paint on you, and we don't want the officers getting their uniforms all dirtied up.
Okay, well, and now, thankfully, we have Workforce Plus to help us with this program. So we thank you for your time. Our time together is coming to an end, and we will be right back on City Law, City Justice.
It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we help to reduce the world's waste.
Aluminum? It's like gold. Oh, yeah.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more environmentally friendly tips, go to getgreen.com.
Oh, there's a bottle. Where? Right over there. To your left. To your left. There you go. You got it.
Hello and welcome back to City Law, City Justice. Joining me now we have Officer Andy Berenston from TPD and Martika Howard from Workforce Plus. Thank you both for being here. I know you have busy schedules and a lot to do in your life like the rest of us, so thanks for coming in. Andy, let's talk a little bit about you and what your role is with graffiti at TPD. So you're in the Community Relations Department, and what are our responsibilities with the graffiti painting out?
Well, part of my duties with that, I go collect the paint from some of the local agencies such as Waste Management. We get free paint from them. Walmart has donated paint to us. We also get supplies from them such as brushes, gloves, drop cloths, that sort of thing. We also house them at a secure location at TPD.
Okay, and then we specifically, are we the ones that drive them to the place that needs to be painted out, or how does that work?
No, sir. We get a list in via email or the hotline, which is 891-4500, and then we give that information to one of the supervisors at Workforce Plus, and they take their individuals out once we provide them with the supplies to the locations to paint over the graffiti.
Okay. And Martika, you work at Workforce Plus, and you are one of the people that actually are going out and painting out those locations. So how does your day typically start if you were going to go out and do some graffiti for today?
I would usually receive a call from Adam maybe a day or two beforehand. And he would let me know the location, and I would meet him out there. He'd bring the paint and the supplies, and I'd get right to work.
Okay. And when you're painting those locations, I'm guessing that your job is to cover up all the words. Is it specific color combinations, or are we just whatever the paint is for the day?
It's the paint for the day, and it's just to make sure that I cover up all the graffiti that's visible and parts.
Okay, great. So Andy, once you've taken care of that, I'm guessing you have a little more time in your day. So what else do you do for our Community Relations Department?
Well, in the Community Relations Unit, I'm also in charge of the Crime Stoppers program. I'm the law enforcement liaison. I deal with all the tips that come in through the program, whether it's the 1-800 number, the local number, or online and through texts. And I get the tips in, I disseminate them to whatever agency needs to investigate that tip.
Okay, and the Crime Stoppers stuff is a very popular entity within our community. Do we have a specific, I don't know, amount of numbers that we get per day? I mean, is there an average numbers that you could say we're getting in from Crime Stoppers every day?
It is a very popular program, I'll give that. I get probably on average anywhere from 4 to 6 tips a day. Some days a little less, sometimes a lot more. The nice thing is, once you call in, you are anonymous, and that's part of the draw, and that you can remain anonymous and get up to a $1,000 reward for any tip that leads to an arrest.
Right, and it truly is anonymous. There is we do not track down who the person is. We don't go looking for those people. It is truly an anonymous process.
It is truly anonymous. The phone call is made and taken by a call-taking location, I believe in Texas. They put the information into the computer system and just assign that individual a specific type of number. The number is then in turn entered into the computer system, which that's when I get the tip. All I see is just a specific number. We have a call-in date on Tuesdays where people can check to see if their tip led to an arrest. If it did lead to an arrest, then I go to the board with that information. They vote on the amount of the reward, and then towards the end of the month, usually it's the last Friday of every month, is when the tip money is disseminated.
Excellent, excellent. So Martika, back to Workforce Plus. I'm guessing there's some other things that you've done. How long have you been at Workforce Plus now?
I've been with Workforce Plus for about a year now.
About a year. And what other types of programs or classes have you taken part in while you've been there?
Well, I'm in the youth program working with Workforce Plus, and we usually do monthly workshops such as from anything from budgeting to resume workshops. And
what resume building? What's the name of that class? What do they call that?
5 Steps to Rapid Employment.
Okay.
Which has been very helpful. It's getting you to reevaluate your resumes based on your values and just your long-term career goals.
I might be able to use that actually.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Maybe you could give me some tips on that later on, because I could certainly use a couple. Okay. Andy, part of the Community Relations Unit 2 is also going out into the community and meeting with our citizens. Can you explain that a little bit to us, what we do?
We have additional programs such as residential security surveys, wherein us as officers in the Community Relations Unit will go out to your house, we'll walk around the outside of your house, we'll walk through the inside of your house, help you identify some of the weaknesses you have, make it a little bit stronger against getting broken into. We also do safety presentations, anywhere from personal safety up to work related safety with groups. We also do bake safety presentations for robbery prevention, that sort of thing.
Okay. And I guess a residential survey of my house. So if I wanted to have an officer come out to my house and take a look, what is he looking for when you're actually out there, or she looking for when they're out there walking around your house or checking your doors, things like that for you?
I'm sorry, when it comes to the external part, we look at how high the bushes are growing or how the trees are growing. We always recommend that you trim the hedges around your house at about 3 foot or knee high. Your trees, you want them trimmed at, about shoulder height, just so you can see someone hiding behind a bush or you can see someone hiding behind a tree. We like to have external lighting on houses. Make sure you have some sort of lighting, whether it's dusk to dawn or motion sensor lighting on there. Make sure that your house looks like it's well kept. No screens off of windows, no broken windows. That's where make sure the yard looks good, just looks nice.
Okay, that sounds great. Maybe you can come out and help me too.
You got it.
Martika, so you've been there about a year now. Do you have any, I guess, aspirations to go somewhere else? Are you looking to go somewhere else, or are you going to stay with Workforce Plus for a while?
Well, I'm going to stay with Workforce Plus until I finish school, and I plan to go back to Tampa.
Go back to where, I'm sorry?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa. And that's where your family's from?
Yes.
And good, you look into a job down there?
Yes.
Has Workforce Plus prepared you think, to get down into a job in Tampa somewhere?
Yes, Workforce has given me experience in fields that I didn't expect to, or I didn't expect to get experience in, and it's helping me network and learn how to network and build relationships with people. And just gaining experience in all type of areas that's just
helping you get a better job.
Yes.
Yes, excellent. Well, we've run out of time, so I do thank you both for joining us today. Maybe you'll come back and see us again sometime?
Most definitely.
Plan to.
Okay, it's now time for viewer mail. This show's question is about bicycles. Hi there. I've heard that there are certain sections of Tallahassee, downtown in particular, that it is illegal to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk. Is this true? I'm asking on behalf of the cycling community here in Tallahassee. Well, while there is no city ordinance that prohibits a bicycle use of the sidewalks within the city limits, we would ask that if you're riding on the sidewalks, you yield to oncoming pedestrians. There is also a Florida statute that allows for bicycles to use the sidewalk. So in this case, common sense is the best idea in order to make everyone's commute safe. If you have questions that you would like me to answer on air, please send them to david.northway@talgov.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on City Law, City Justice.
Thank you.